gone through this earlier. I spoke to Captain Kendall last week. I spoke to numerous members of the Sheriff's Department this morning, and I was going through every procedure that I was supposed to go through. Well, ultimately, it's my decision, right? I understand. Okay. There is a much smaller lectern that he's picked up, placed here.
What is that talking?
Sir, I want to move the presentation of evidence. We could have discussed this weeks ago, and we could have gone ahead and planned it. I could have brought it over here and test drove it, but you didn't give me that opportunity. So let's move on. Okay. All right.
Love to talk. That dude right there love to talk.
I don't know what time it's going to, but I'll let you know as soon as I'll figure that out just a little bit, Mr. Steele, okay? All right. You can open your statement next if so. Okay, all right. Let me know when you're ready, sir.
He's suffering.
Okay, all right. You let me know when you're ready. Yes, Miss Act.
He's doing it too much.
That's fine. Fine. That'll work out. Because we wrote you some space here, so okay. Here we go. Password protected. So if you ask her to send those to you, she can. I'll wait ahead. I think he said he's ready. Okay, all right. Can we summon our jury sergeant, please? All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please. All right, thank you, Sergeant. All right. Does any member of the defense wish to make an opening statement this time? All right, Mr. Sharp, you make your seat, sir. time that my client is not lost on any of those. That my client is charged with 2 murders in this case. And he's charged in 2015. His evidence will show that he was wrongfully accused. And that he's never went to court. He was accused in 2022. Wrongfully. Based largely on assumptions made about the 2015 case. We pleaded absolutely not guilty. With our backs straight and our eyes wide open, we pleaded not guilty to those charges. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, as far as preliminary matters, as you probably have realized, jury and the things about this case, this is somewhat of a unique case. It draws some attention. But the thing I want to stress is that this case is no different than any other case in the United States Justice go. And it has the same ground rules as any other case tried in this great union. The ground rules in this case are that the defendant, Kenneth Stillwell, and all the other defendants are presumed innocent. The state bears the burden of proving their case against all the accused individually. And the state's burden of proof is the highest burden in our system, beyond a reasonable doubt. Beyond a reasonable doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, the state started talking in their opening about colors. About colors and hand signs and different markers and gang activity and all the rest. And I anticipate that the state will attempt to bring in colors and their belief about what colors mean in this case. Throughout this case, I'm going to ask you to focus on a couple colors as well. Just keep in mind as you hear the evidence. Okay, the first color is dollar bill green. Dollar bill green, as you may guess, is the exact shade of green that the U.S. government uses when printing U.S. currency. And the evidence in this case will show that many young men grew up without dollar bill. The evidence will show, and you'll learn about different areas of Atlanta, Capitol Hill, Jonesboro South, places that have since been revitalized in some ways, but back 15 years ago were not nice places. Despair, lack of opportunity, poverty, lack of positive role models. You'll hear about Shannon and his upbringing. You'll hear that he grew up in the Forest Cove apartment, which has since been condemned. And he was raised by his maternal grandmother, Betty Jackson. He couldn't live with his mother who had succumbed to drug addiction, and it was his maternal grandmother, Betty Jackson, who raised him. She raised him in the Forest Cove apartment, and you'll hear that she loved him. Poor loved him. Called him her sweet thing. He called her mom because she was mom. You'll hear that despite the love and guidance that Miss Jackson tried to pour into Mr. Stillwell, at the age of 14, without other people providing him guidance, he dropped out of school. And he decided that he wanted to be a rapper. You'll learn about the rap industry in this case. And you'll learn, you probably already know this, but becoming a rapper is not the same as chasing superstar in the rap game, those paychecks might not come for a long time. And sadly, they may not come at all. It might be a dead end to nowhere. You'll learn about the vast numbers of young men with the same dream as Shannon and how the supply of potential rappers greatly exceeds the demand for superstar rappers. Now, there's really bad occupation to try to get into what it really comes down to. But Shannon was 14. You'll hear how he tried to hone his skills, trying to make it in the rap game. But you'll hear that Shannon, like many other young men chasing this same dream, weren't making any money. And bills have to be paid. And kids have to eat. And rent becomes due. In this case, we're not going to hide from it. The chase of dollar bill green turned into a different shade of green for Shannon and many others. That type of green, that shade of green is called onion green, which is actually a color. You can paint your house onion, but in this case,
what is he talking about?
Stands for marijuana. And you'll hear how Shannon trying to make it in rap sold marijuana. The state has alleged in their overt acts, okay? These are acts that they claim prove that there's some RICO conspiracy afoot. You'll hear that on August 23rd, 2013, Shannon was charged with possession of marijuana with intent to distribute approximately 1 ounce over 10 years ago. And you'll hear that he pled guilty and did his time. You'll hear that in 2015, in July 2015, he was charged with possession of marijuana with intent and possession of a firearm. And you'll hear he pled guilty, took responsibility, did his time. You'll hear that in September 25th of 2019, he was arrested and charged with possession of a firearm. And he took responsibility and he did his time. We're not hiding from the fact that Shannon Stillwell has sold drugs. We're not hiding from the fact that he's been found in possession of marijuana. We're not hiding from the fact that he's been found in possession of a firearm, which is always synonymous with selling drugs. These are his path. His past is true. And they were his decisions. His motivation was to make money for him, to live, to pay rent, to eat. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not hiding from the past. But the evidence will show that Shannon's decisions, starting over 10 years ago, had nothing to do with YSL or any other organization. You won't hear evidence that Shannon was selling marijuana and then calling someone from YSL saying, hey, I got some money to support the organization, or calling Jeffrey Williams and saying, hey, I got some money for you, man. No, it was for him. He was a drug dealer. He did his time. There's like thousands of other people in Atlanta. This has nothing to do with YSL. Has nothing to do with the January 10th shooting with Jonathan Thomas. It has nothing to do with the 2022 shooting of Siobhan Briggs.
What's going on? Oops, that was.
On count one on this indictment, the state charges Shannon Stillwell with conspiracy to violate the RICO Act. They say on or between January 24th, 2013, and the 8th day of May 2022, he and others unlawfully conspired to acquire, maintain directly and indirectly of the United States currency and other personal property from a pattern of racketeer. Stating their opening said, further the interests of YSL, further their goals. They also said they endeavor to do a lot of stuff to get them a lot of stuff. Okay, it's a little bit more complicated. And Rico, the actions need to be part of a racketeer organization. Not drug dealer, selling drugs, by his own team.
Oh, I better get your off of here.
Besides dollar bill green, and I guess bill
It's something I don't think.
that I like to talk about is Fulton County Blue.
You
Fulton
do
County
that, Camper?
prefers Fulton County Jail. 911 rescue, where people are taken when they're
See what you did.
felony charges in Fulton County. And Fulton County Blue refers to the jumpsuits these individuals wear, the county issued jumpsuits that are typically navy blue.
Hold on, y'all. Camper don't mess me up. You do that for.
About the conditions of jail life and Fulton County jail life in particular, and how intense
Let me see what this dog did, y'all.
Sometimes with
So mad.
sharing that small cell with you, you have no privacy. Use the bathroom in front of bed, you shower in front of bed. You're in danger.
1 second, y'all. Camper messing up.
Your loved ones. But most importantly, the men wearing blue, Fulton County blue,
On my
they
nerves.
lost control of their lives. They lost control of their destiny. Their destiny is now in the hands of the judicial system, in the hands of prosecutors. Ladies and gentlemen, Fulton County Blue. I'm Attorney Ken Nugent. If you've been injured,
Y'all, if y'all don't come over here and get Camper, if y'all don't come over here and get Camper before I heard Camper. And what is this? You sit your fat butt down. Come on.
perhaps, but what you should keep in mind
Look
is
at her too.
when these men say what they have to say, did they say it when they first got the information to share? Or when they claim they got the first got the information to share?
You get out of the clothes.
When they found themselves wearing the Fulton County blue. When they no longer had control of their destinies and they needed a favor. And they decided to insert themselves into a high profile case that would sell all their profits. Let's talk about January 10th, 2015. That's the case involving Mr. Thomas. And this was, the evidence would show that this was a high profile case. And the reason, and I, this is not me talking. I anticipate the evidence shown. I anticipate the state's own witnesses, the state's own gang investigators will tell you, not me talking, okay? Just me, they will tell you that Donovan Thomas was a big deal, that he was a gangman, that he was the leader of the Inglewood Family Bloods in Atlanta, that he was high ranking. And that's what made this case a big deal on the streets. You'll also hear that this case, the shooting of Donovan Thomas, was caught on surveillance video. Now, I'm not going to suggest that it's the highest quality surveillance video, but it was caught on surveillance video. And you'll be able to watch the surveillance video. And you'll see winter, it's cold, dark, then you'll see a car zoom down McDaniel Street towards Northside Drive and northwest of it. And you'll see and you will hear testimony that Mr. Thomas was with other individuals. What they were doing, I don't know. But he was with other individuals in a parking lot in between two barbershops. One being Mr. George's barbershop, and one being Mr. Bernard's barbershop. And you will hear that this car zoomed down this dark street on that January 9th, and it appears from the video that you will see that an individual starts shooting out the sunroof in the direction of Donovan Thomas and others. You will see that surveillance video for what it is and what it isn't. And you will also see how quickly everything occurred for that night. A matter of seconds. Detective Stewart is the Atlanta Police Department detective that was assigned this case in January 2015. And you'll hear that he gathered the evidence from the crime scene. There was no DNA. There was no fingerprints of value. You'll hear that there were shell casings all along the street, but you won't ever hear that these shell casings were linked to any particular gun or Janet or anything else. And there were no eyewitnesses by January 10th, 2015 coming forward saying, yes, I was here, and this is what I saw. And I saw the person doing none of that. And you'll hear that this case remained unsolved. On October 19th, 2015, 9 months and 9 days after the Donovan Thomas shooting, again, a Nicholas Robinson was arrested on the streets of Atlanta and brought to Fulton County Jail for various pending charges. And you will hear evidence that Mr. Robinson decided he needed help. He didn't want to wear the Fulton County hood. You'll hear that he contacted the Atlanta Police Department and got in touch with Detective Thorpe. And Detective Thorpe came out and interviewed this Nicholas Robinson. You'll hear what Nicholas Robinson said in this interview, how he gave his vantage point to Detective Thorpe, how Nicholas Robinson said that he was sitting at the BART bus bench right across McDaniel Street from the barbershops. You'll hear that Nicholas Robinson told Detective Thorpe that he saw it all, and he saw the people that were inside the car, and he gave names. Nicholas Robinson said, I saw Antonio Sledge. He came out of the sunroof shooting. I saw Kenneth Copeland. He was in the front passenger seat. I saw Leon Arlington. He was the driver of the car. But Harry Zachary, he wasn't there, but he supplied a gun to Antonio Sledge. And yes, I saw Shannon Stillwell, my car, in the back, passenger side, shooting at him. So Detective Thorpe, after taking this information from Nicholas Robinson, just broke the case. Created photo lineups. I don't know what a photo lineup is. It's essentially 6 photos that you'll learn about that. Detective Thorpe showed these photo lineups. A photo lineup with Antonio Sledge and a photo lineup with Kenneth Copeland. Each person had their own photo lineup just to ensure that Nicholas Robinson could pick these people out of the photo lineup. And Nicholas Robinson did. And he he signed his name, Nicholas Robinson, next to the picture of Antonio Sledge, and next to the picture of Kenneth Copeland, and next to the picture of Demikian Garland, and next to the picture of my client, Shannon Stillwell. Nicholas Robinson signed his name and said, these were the people in the car. Ladies and gentlemen, why am I telling you this? Well, Detective Thorpe had two small problems. First, you will see the surveillance video. You have to watch the surveillance video and the lighting conditions out there, and the fact that there's cut fire going every which way, and how fast the car is moving. And you will be able to judge, but ever even believable that someone can see four people inside a car under those conditions? But there was a bigger problem that Detective Thorpe had. You see, you'll learn that during this interview with Nicholas Robinson, it wasn't only Detective Thorpe, there was another investigator, Keith. And while Detective Thorpe was talking to Nicholas Robinson, Detective Keith was doing some investigation of her own and looking into Nicholas Robinson and who this guy was who had just been arrested. And after Nicholas Robinson picked out all these people, including my client, Detective Gaither had to tell Detective Thorpe a little secret. Detective Gaither had to tell Detective Thorpe that guy in there who just signed those photo lineups that just signed their case. His name isn't really Nicholas Robinson. He lied to us about his name. His name is actually Spencer Wright. So, case was solved by someone who lied about their name. So, what was Detective Thorpe's plan? Well, this is what the evidence would show. Detective Thorpe completely overlooked the lie about the name. The improbability of a man spying for different individuals in the car or looking at a high speed. He overlooked those things. He said to Nicholas Robinson, or he said to Spencer Wright, I've come to learn that your name is not actually Nicholas Robinson, it's Spencer Wright. Could you look at these photo lineups again, and instead of writing a fake name Nicholas Robinson, you actually cited your real name Spencer Wright? And Spencer Wright did. So what happened? Detective Thorpe on October 19th, 2015, based on the word of Spencer Wright, the man who had just claimed to be Nicholas Robinson, Detective Thorpe took out warrants for Antonio Sledge, Demikian Garland, Kenneth Copeland, and my client, Shannon Stillwell, based on what Spencer Wright said. Okay. Since October 19th, 2015, people have had an opportunity to review something from this case. The surveillance video that you will see, it's interesting because not only does it show McDaniel Street against the incident, but it also shows the Marta park bench right across from the barber shops on McDaniel Street. And know who's in the who's in the park bench? The bus Marta bench across from the barber shop? No one. It was all fabricated. It was all made up. It was all a lie. We've been able to review Spencer Wright's jail phone calls to associates made around that time. All but admitted, I'm lying. I need to get out of here. I'm inserting myself into a case so I can get favorable treatment, so that others get arrested. The state has since dismissed the charges against Antonio Sledge, Kenneth Copeland, and Demikian Garland. They continue to push forward Why is Spencer Wright so important? Why did I spend so much time talking about someone who clearly lied, who clearly wasn't there, who clearly made things up? Well, Spencer Wright gives us the blueprint. He tells us what to look out for. What was Spencer Wright wearing when he fabricated his story? Fulton County Blue. What did he want? What was he in search of when he fabricated his story? Control of his destiny. He wanted to do that in the judicial system. He wanted to use something to get a deal. He wanted to take back control. That's what many Blue do. Okay. In this case, I anticipate
Oh,
four witnesses. All four have certain things in common, as they say. When they supposedly came upon information that was relevant, never shared it with law enforcement. But once they were wearing blue, they needed something. That's when they came up with their stories. I anticipate the state will call for Darius Adler, ironically, one of the people accused by Spencer Wright. You'll learn that he claims he knew information January 10, 2015. January, February, March, April, May, never shared this information with anyone. But lo and behold, you'll hear he found himself in custody for serious charges on August 5th of 2015. And all of a sudden he had a story to tell. You'll hear he gave a second statement to law enforcement. Where he was in a room with the gang investigators, with prosecutors, including prosecutors that were handling his case and had control over his destiny, his future, and his attorney. And you'll hear that he gave a second statement and was looking for a deal. But Darius Adler is no longer wearing blue. But Darius Adler was not charged with this case. He got his name. You'll hear about Kenneth Copeland. Again, someone ironically accused by Spencer Wright. You'll hear that Kenneth Copeland hates jail more than anything. The problem is, for someone that hates jail more than anything, he does a horrible job of avoiding it. And you'll hear that throughout this investigation, he's repeatedly arrested by the Tampa Police Department and other jurisdictions. And you'll hear two of those arrests were on June 10th of 2015 for guns, felon in possession of guns. October 28, 2021, guns, felon in possession of guns. And he makes it very clear about what he thinks about wearing the blue. But the interesting thing about him is, as you will see here, is every time he's arrested, law enforcement runs out to talk to him. And he goes through the same song and dance about how he'll do anything. Just don't, please, man, please don't make me wear that blue. Kenneth Copeland is no longer wearing blue. And he's not charged in this case. I anticipate you may hear from a man named Sammy Davis who claims he was at the scene on January 10, 2015. January through December 2015, never once went to law enforcement. 2016, never once went to law enforcement. But then in March 17, 2017, when he's in jail, wearing blue, law enforcement comes out and talks to him. You'll hear his story. His story about how two cars were driving down McDaniel Street, and the first car sent a signal to the second car, saying Donovan Thomas is just leaving the barbershop as a signal that it's time to shoot. And how the second car pulled up in front of the barbershop shop and stopped in the middle of the street. Just stopped. And then people started shooting it. And you'll hear Sammy Davis' story. You'll also see the video. You'll see that there's no first car, second car. You'll see that there's no signal. You'll see that Donovan Thomas wasn't just leaving the barbershop, that he had actually stayed and hanging out with friends in that parking lot for quite some time prior to the shooting. And most importantly, you'll hear or you'll see on the video that Sammy Davis claims that this car stopped are 100% wrong. The car never stops. The car drives on by. Bullets flying everywhere. You'll be able to listen to Sammy Davis' story and compare it to the surveillance video. Figure out how much value we should give his story. And finally, I anticipate you may hear from Andy and Teron Stillwell. A man who curiously claims he's my client's uncle. Not sure what that's about. You'll hear that he claimed to come across important information in January of 2015. And he claimed he came across this important information while talking to someone with his wife, Vanessa Guppy, right there. You'll hear from all of 2015. Never said a word to law enforcement. Wasn't until March 22nd, 2016. Guess what color Teron Stillwell was wearing at that time? You got it. He was in jail for serious charges, and he needed help. He needed help from law enforcement to reclaim his destiny, control over his life, to escape the monotony and the filth of the Fulton County Jail. And you'll hear that he claims to have information. You'll hear that the state, to their credit, went to try to corroborate whatever the was talking about and talk to his wife, who is now deceased. Her name is Vanessa Guppy. She is now deceased. But you'll hear that she was interviewed on May 11th of 2016 when she was still alive. And you'll hear what she had to say about Teron Stillwell's claims. That what he's saying happened, never happened, and that Teron Stillwell is an effing liar. Those are the state's witnesses in this case. Those are their man's blue. Count 2 of this indictment is the count that charges my client, Jen Stillwell, along with a whole new group of individuals with the murder of Donovan Thomas. There'll be no forensic evidence, there'll be no ballistic evidence. There'll be no eyewitnesses that presented themselves on the scene and say, I saw this occur. The surveillance video will not give insight as to whether Jen Stillwell was there or not. The state's case will rest entirely on the word of men in blue. When the evidence is done, and the trial is done in this case, when I ask that you return a verdict of not guilty, count 2 murder. Okay, that's what I was saying. Now, I would like to Gonzalez was the head of, that my client was responsible. Based on the word of Spencer Wright, based on the word of someone that even the state is saying lied. First they said it wasn't completely accurate, now it's lied. Based on that, they broadcast to everyone that my client was responsible. And there has been repercussions. You'll hear in 2015, people pulled up to my client as he stood outside a store, shot a gun at his head, grazed his forehead. Thankfully, he's still with us. You'll hear that later in 2015, my client went to go get a fish dinner with the mother of his child and another young lady named Tiara Jones at JJ's Fish at the corner of University and Pryor. And members of the gang spotted them there, stalked that car, drove behind the car, and unleashed bullets upon that car, hitting that poor lady, the driver, Tiara Jones, in the face, killing her, causing the car to crash and spin, breaking bones in my client's body, collapsing his lungs. The streets have not cared that Spencer Wright is a liar. Since that time, my client's life has changed in some small ways and some big ways that I've experienced. Shannon Stillwell, since that time, has been careful about his surroundings. He tends to back in the parking spots. He tends to run red lights at intersections, not to be a sitting duck for IFA members or anyone else. He habitually changes residences. And yes, he does habitually rent cars, including a white Audi. He does this. The evidence will show, so no one can associate him with any particular car. None of the IFA members can know where he is. And yes, when he rents cars, he does tinted windows, so no one can see in. That's the life he leads since 2015. And yes, when he leaves the house late at night, he does conceal his identity. It was during COVID, but he does wear a mask. That's been Shannon Stillwell's life since 2015. And I'm going to ask you to take that into account as you consider.
Man, please hurry up.
Now, 7 years later, March 14, 2022, remember, Shannon has been publicly accused. But no one has ever taken that case to court. No one has ever even tried to actually prove the case. They just accused the case. Shannon has remained a wanted man. Not by the police, but by someone scared. On March 14, 2022, evidence was shown that Shannon, Marvius Nichols, Deion Arlington, and Miles Farley were planning going to the music studio to work on music. The evidence will show that Mr. Arlington was a passenger in Mr. Stillwell's and Shannon's rented white Audi tinted windows. And Mr. Nichols was with Mr. Farley in Mr. Nichols' white Ford Fusion. The evidence, and you'll see, in this case, you'll see there's several different surveillance videos that you'll see in this case. The first being the BP footage. That's from the BP at the corner of Fulton Street and Windsor Street in Atlanta. white out, and you'll see Mr. Stillwell pull up on that camera and back into a parking spot right in front of the VP, and you will see Mr. Nichols shortly thereafter in his white Ford Fusion pull up at the gas tank so he can purchase gas in the studio. You'll see footage from inside the store. That's Mr. Nichols. You'll find out that that's Mr. Nichols purchasing an item, and that's Mr. Stillwell, my client, wearing a Pink Floyd hoodie with a pink wool cap on. And you'll be able to observe them on video, and you'll see Miles Farley, the third person in their group, a shorter individual, come in, and you'll see them playing around, pushing each other in a playful manner as friends do. I'm going to ask you to observe them on a video and ask yourself, does that appear to be men on a mission? Or does it appear to be friends? Just put it on this thing. The video will reveal that at some point, a gentleman by the name of Shamal Drinks pulls up in a red car at another, in fact, I believe that's a picture of it right there at that gas pump. And he enters the store. You'll be able to see the video of him entering the store from the parking lot, and you'll be able to see him inside the store. You'll see that he gets into some sort of argument or altercation, or not an altercation, argument. It appears with the clerk, and he leaves the store, and he gets in his car. There will be no interaction whatsoever between Mr. Drinks and my client, Mr. Drinks and Mr. Farley, Mr. Drinks and Mr. Nichols, Mr. Drinks and Mr. Garlington. There'll be no interaction at all. And you will see Mr. Drinks exit that parking lot and take a right on Winter Street. And then you will see Mr. Stillwell exit that parking lot and take a right on Winter Street. And then you'll see Mr. Nichols exit the parking lot and take a right on Winter Street. And that's where FedEx surveillance footage will take over. You'll be able to watch the FedEx footage on Winter Street, which will show these cars drive up and end up at a red light. You will see.
Cuz he gonna talk all night.
Why howdy.
He's a talker, y'all.
You will see Mr. Nichols follow my client's car and run at a red light. Eventually, cars come in to replace them, and traffic flow continues and continues for several minutes. And eventually, a man happening to go away looks into Mr. Drinks' car, which is still sitting there, and notices that Mr. Drinks has been shot. What you will not see on this video is any indication at all that this shooting occurred while my client's car was beside Mr. Drinks. You will not see any muzzle flash, you will not see any commotion, you will not see any fight, you will not see anything at all that suggests that that's when the shooting occurred. So, this March 14, 2022 case, what I anticipate is you will not hear any eyewitnesses say that Shannon Stillwell. And let's be clear, the state is accusing Shannon Stillwell. I mentioned that there's 4 people in this party. They are accusing Shannon Stillwell of shooting Mr. Drinks out of the White House. The state will not present to you any witnesses that saw this occur. The state will not present to you any forensic evidence that proves that this occurred. The surveillance I submit to you, and you'll be able to see it, judge for yourself, points to the exact opposite. That the shots did not come from Mr. Stillwell's car, nor did, and I'm not suggesting they came from Mr. Nichols either. They came from neither car. So why was Shannon Stillwell arrested? Well, they had video of Shannon as a VP. Okay? That's fine. We don't deny that. Never will. it shows and what it doesn't show. And I'm sure they assumed that it would show some shooting, but it doesn't. And finally, they made assumptions about Shannon Stillwell. Remember what the state said in Oakland about how Detective Hogan had people on a video at the DP, which is near where the shooting occurred, but not where the shooting occurred. He had people on his video, and he talked to another detective, Vigorito. Vigorito said, "Oh, that's Shannon Stillwell. That's Shannon Stillwell. Oh, that's Marcus Nichols." And they just ran with it. Yeah. Shannon Stillwell was at the DP that night. He didn't shoot Jamal drinks. None of his friends shot Jamal drinks. They went to the studio. Since these warrants were taken out for Shannon Stillwell, and I'll tell you, the warrants were taken out, and Shannon Stillwell was arrested in that same White House on March 17th, 2022, 3 days later. Since those warrants have been taken out, some other information has come forward. First, I'm going to ask you, this again is evidence, I'm going to ask that you consider the rental agreement for the White House. You will learn that on March 16th, 2 days after this alleged shooting, when every other person who has a guilty conscience, anyone who has a guilty conscience, is trying to get out of the rental car, Shannon extended his lease. I'm going to ask you to consider and really think about it. Extending a lease of a car that you supposedly just killed someone. Those the actions of someone who's guilty of that crime. You're going to hear about the wiretap on Demetrius Garlington's phone. Remember, Demetrius Garlington was in Mr. Stillwell's car. And the state hinted at it a little bit. They were talking about Jaden Myrick and people wanting to attack Manny Lucci. And based on the search in his jail, the state applied for a wiretap and received wiretap for the Demetrius Garlington's phone. The phone of the person who was with Shannon Stillwell on March 14, 2022. And you'll learn what a wiretap is and how a wiretap really consists of law enforcement sitting and listening in on all your phone calls. Incoming and outgoing. And recording all the relevant and pertinent phone calls and conversations that occur. You'll learn that this wiretap on Demetrius Garlington's phone